Okay, so Joe, I am going to go to the screen share and bring up the photos that were taken from when the investigators went back to the Crowley house to go and locate the bullet in the attic that was found.
Okay.
What was it we were saying?
About
Found
a
a
month
month.
ago, about a
Yeah,
month after.
yeah. And we will have a little chat about what we see and help everybody
Awesome.
else. As the, could you see the picture?
I can. It's up.
Brilliant. So yeah, they've obviously the Christmas tree's been moved. You've got a torch by the looks of it on that table, and just a picture of the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing really. I mean, it's quite sad. There's still are they sunglasses on the hooks of the shelf
Yeah.
and shoes. So there's still memories of the Crowleys there. I'll go to the next one. Is the picture up?
Yep. I see it.
Brilliant. So here we've got what looks like one of the curtains from the rear slider and another curtain at the window. There's that shelving unit, that black thing, that's where they put the gun when they took photos of that.
Right.
Um,
And just the dome light on the ceiling, just behind that is where the bullet hole is.
yeah, I mean
And it kind of gives you perspective if you
yeah,
look to where it goes down to the floor at
yeah.
angle to the
I mean,
right.
it's kind of funny because I was like literally just thinking, oh, from this angle, you can see that there's quite a bit of depth to that dome. It's quite
Mhm.
concave. Is it concave? I always get concave and convex muddled up. But you know, I mean, it's quite
Convex, concave. I don't know.
it's quite
One or the
deep.
other.
Well, we know we were definitely right there because it's definitely one or the other, a bit like a left and right hand.
But anyways, dome shaped, and I mean it would kind of hide it if you were walking in the front door and looking from that way. And all that was on the floor they were looking at, I mean, their attention was drawn away from the ceiling. They weren't looking up.
Definitely. I mean, you've
There
got
it is.
three, yeah, you've got three bodies on the floor, body parts, decomp, blood, dog poo, bloody things, Quran pages, and goodness
And
knows what else.
the
So you're going to be more bothered
and the
about not standing on that.
yeah, and the worst part is there's a child on the floor. That's got to, I don't care who you are, that's got to shake you to your core.
Definitely. And but especially when you're like what 3 4 weeks after Christmas,
Yep.
it's a bit of a wake up call. And yeah, I think anyone with an ounce of compassion and empathy is going to be struck by the tragedy of
Yeah.
finding a little girl deceased. So yeah, we can see the bullet
Exactly.
hole in this picture, and you can see that there's part of the wall in the bottom corner, the light, and then that bullet hole. Just say if you want me to zoom in on anything. Do you want me to go to the next picture?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want me to zoom in?
No. Well, you can a little bit. You can kind of see maybe which way the bullet entered.
It's hard to sort of tell from that picture because you can't see any wall or light to give you an idea of which
Yeah.
angle they're taking it from, but you
You
can
don't have
see,
any reference.
no, but yeah, you can see it's definitely gone up through there.
But it is
And
right in line where David was found. I mean,
yeah, I think it's
you can't deny that.
also worth sort of remembering that at the time when they were finding bullet casings and such like, and bullet fragments and things, they don't know if the bullets have come, like, sounds like gross saying it, and I don't mean it in any kind of graphic, disrespectful way, but they don't know whether the bullets have exited or whether they've been lodged in parts of the
Right.
body or anything. So it's easy to say, well, they should have seen this and they should have seen that, but at the same time, they've got 3 deceased people on the floor. They're finding all these different fragments and things. And
Right.
I think they did, I think they found, all the shell cases, and bullets and fragments and such like. I think it probably kind of added up to them at that time. And like,
Hmm.
they're just more focused on processing that scene and not contaminating it
Yeah.
by looking up and losing their balance, or for all we know and all they know, you don't know the structural, whether like that floor had been compromised, and with their extra weight on floors that have been soaked in decomp and everything else and wet for weeks, whether they would
Hmm.
still have their integrity.
Yeah, and some of those boards were pretty warped. I mean, they took out a big section of it.
Yeah. So another one of the bullet holes. I mean, I don't know if that's like a kind of burn mark on it that you can sort of see on the right part of where it's entering.
It's just an indention. I think where it kind of scraped that side.
Yeah. But we'll move on to the next one. See, here's a slightly better way of seeing.
Yeah.
You've got the front door down this area. There's that corner where you've got the shoe cupboard in this part. And
And the hole's
then,
almost even with that corner.
yeah, I tend to sort of use this corner as a guideline.
Yeah.
And then looks like it's almost, in this picture anyway, it's almost in line with the top edge
Yep.
of the light. And of course, we'll look at other pictures later on where you get a bit more of a better idea of where the bodies were, because
Yeah.
sometimes you think they're more sort of towards this end of the room, and other times then it's, you know what I mean, it's quite hard to actually work out the locations. You think by the
Right.
chair or you think by the Christmas tree, but we'll go into that in more detail in another video. We'll focus on the bullet and retrieving it. So again, you
Okay.
can,
Different angle.
yeah,
But you could tell it's almost perfectly aligned with that corner like you were talking about. So it
yeah,
kind of gives you a good reference of where, and if you trace that back down,
mm,
I mean, everything lines up with the left
yeah,
parietal. I
yeah,
mean, exactly.
yeah, definitely. Because it's like when you think like the recliner is kind of on the other side of this
Hmm.
wall and in front of it on the rug. So you've got this sort of gap, and then you've got sort of the Christmas tree and the other thing, and that little table, corner table thing with the like louvered
Yeah.
screen, you can just see the door frame here of the front door. Can you see it at the bottom right?
Yeah. I see.
Yeah. So it's just another little thing to use as a guide to try and navigate where things are. Next picture.
Yes.
Another one.
Not the same.
Yeah. It's a little bit more of a door frame. I mean, in an ideal world, like you kind of, I'm being picky here, but in an ideal world, it would have been good if they could have just turned the camera a tiny little bit to have like had the lines of the ceiling lines straight, some sort of uniform. But that's just me being picky. It's at the end of the day, they've got the picture in there. I think it's because when I'm looking at it, I end up looking at the picture and then I'm sort of looking up and trying to visualize it on a ceiling.
Yeah.
It's just around there, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, like except there was this.
And then
That's if
but
you think,
look, if you draw a line straight down from where that bullet hole is, it goes right to where David would have
yeah,
been sitting, standing, whatever.
yeah.
But it's right in the area.
So if you think that this was up against the wall, and then you had like the Christmas tree, and you had something else, you had the dog crate was somewhere around here.
Yeah.
That. How
If you
big would
think,
you say that is?
what is it?
This black kind of corner unit.
The little shelf?
This, yeah.
That's yes, that little what was it, like a plant and bookshelf or something
No,
that
this
was
thing where
behind the tree?
where the torch is.
Oh, okay.
Can you see? I want to make sure we've got the same picture up.
Yeah.
This
I
black
see
unit. This is what they put
the black shelf.
when they put, yeah, where the light shade or the lamp shade and the torch is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's been moved, but that is
Right.
where there was like jar of coins, a couple of books, and some other odds and ends, and then the police put the gun on that black top
Right.
to photograph it. But I'm pretty sure it's been moved in this picture from where it was. It's around
Yeah,
the
I think
same area.
it was closer to the wall, wasn't it? Had a
Yeah,
plant on it, maybe, or a plant beside it, and
yeah,
then some stuff. Yeah.
yeah. And I think there was a plant behind it as well. Um,
Yeah.
but
It was kind of behind the tree.
exactly. So because people seem to think that the tree's sort of in front of the window, but there was this thing that was also there. Um, in the other photos, the trees in front of that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to get this photo and then the tree photo for like a comparison at some point.
Yeah.
Should we go to the next photo?
Go ahead.
You see that when you see that, I go, which window is it? Sorry, not which window. Which wall are we looking at? I think that's the
That's
window wall, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the front window.
Yeah,
It's
I mean
just
that.
he's kind of standing right under it.
Yeah, I mean I get that they're taking photos sort of from pretty much every angle, but when you like painting your ceiling and you get all like, whoa. See, on this photo, I can't tell whether, not that I'm an expert or anything, I don't mean it like that, but is this sort of like a burn mark of where it's
No,
gone
that's
through?
just no, that's the hole where it busted through. So basically, when it came off, it's tumbling through the air,
Yeah,
and how it hits, that's that's what the shape you're seeing. That's how they
yeah,
can kind of tell where it came from is
yeah.
the way because of its tumble. There's videos about it. I mean, it's hard for me to explain because
Yeah,
I'm not a professional, but
because it's,
I
you can
kind of
sort of
understand it.
see, I get what you're saying. You can sort of see it's kind of caught from here where the
Yeah,
cross is. That's the first part of sort of where it, like, the, there's damage, and then all of this, and then it finally enters up through this
yeah.
part.
Say it has a flat bottom and then a rounded top, kind of a bullet shape. You can
Yeah,
kind of see how it hit.
yeah, and you've got, obviously you've got this for measurements. So go to the next
I
picture.
think- Yeah, go ahead.
Because these rounds, they're about 10 millimeters, aren't they? I think in diameter.
Yeah, around that. And
Goes
you can
under.
see some like light colors inside there. That's probably the insulation, maybe, or wood inside
Yeah,
the ceiling.
yeah. Okay, to the next picture.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's definitely fiberglass. I'll zoom in.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah.
You can see the fibers here and here. Can you see them okay on your end?
Oh yeah. Just see them good.
Brilliant. And also,
That's the thing. So this bullet, after it went, and I'm not trying to be graphic here, but it went through tissue and then through sheetrock, through insulation. It went through so many things. I'm surprised they found any DNA on it at all. They were very lucky.
yeah, yeah. I'm just thinking here, like, from size, you look at the finger of the person that's
Yeah.
holding this up, and like you've got like from there, and then the tip of their finger is sort of in that's me going off the off piece. It's sort of it, like for size, you can kind of work out it's that kind of size of a hole. But it's
Mhm.
not because someone's put their finger through it, like it's been claimed. They can't do that. They might use a rod at some point to measure the trajectory, but we don't have any photos of that.
Right.
So here is a picture come up of the attic.
Yep. That's the attic hole.
So we're going up into the attic. From in the closet in the master bedroom.
The attic access.
Is that a common thing to have your access points in a closet?
Yeah, you can. Like in the South, a lot of them are accessed from the garage. If you have a
Yeah,
garage, that's more common in the South. I don't know how it is. I've seen them in the attic quite a bit too. Just a small one like that.
yeah. You'll never guess where my
Here, like in
attic.
Arkansas, they're a lot bigger. We have stairs. Like you pull the door down and
Yeah,
stairs
yeah,
pop down. Yeah,
yeah. Some
both of them.
people have them installed over here, but you would, I hate having to go anywhere near my attic because the little hatch door is flipping tiny and it's at the top of the stairs. Of all the places to put it, they put it at the top of the stairs. So yeah,
that doesn't
it's
sound safe.
no, it's the thing that brings dread to me, if I'm honest. In this picture, you can see they've got some rope string lights around here in the room, just so
Yep.
it sometimes gets overlooked that we seem to have the lights dotted around. I'll go to the next one thing as I took us off track with talking about attic hatches.
Hopefully this was the inside of the attic, isn't it? Yep, there we go.
Yes. I mean,
And you
you're
can see
kind
the
of looking
insulation.
for a needle in a
It'd be hard
haystack.
to find. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. It'd be hard to find a bullet in something like that. You would really have to look around.
Yeah. Do you want me to go to the next?
Go ahead.
Because sometimes you think I've seen it, and then like we go to the next one, you go, oh, that wasn't what I was looking at. So I'm thinking that this is where they've cleared the fiberglass away.
Yep.
And do you think that this,
Looking for the bullet.
yeah, but would this have been done from, is this damage from the bullet hole or the bullet?
I would think that right there, they uncovered that to show the bullet hole.
Yeah. So
And
zoom
then
in.
because the bullet would travel up and it would hit the roof and come back down. It seems like a farther over than where the hole was. Just from
Because it looks like there's
yeah, that
breakage
looks like a
there.
hole to me. It looks like it's ripped through.
Yeah. And then there's sort of some residue there.
Yeah. But that's not where the bullet landed. That's just
No,
the hole.
finding the hole. Go to the next one. I'm assuming that is part of like the roof.
Yeah, that would be the top part where the shingles are be on the other side of that. That would be the very top of the roof. So they're trying to show, I think, where the bullet would have hit the top. And I'm assuming it's that whole top left.
Well, see, this is where
Or is
I
that a
get
knot
myself
hole?
all confused because sometimes I think, is it or is that just a knot that is not in the
Yeah.
wood? And then you've got this white stuff, but then there seems to be too much sort of white stuff, and I don't know what the white stuff is. So I kind of get quite confused when I
Sure.
look at
That
this
does
particular
kind of look
one.
like a knot hole.
Yeah.
But they've taken this to show us something.
Yeah.
I haven't studied this one a lot, so I'm not sure. That's hard to tell.
It
Unless
is.
that split to the right of the knot hole is maybe where it's kind of a long looking split there.
This part.
Yep.
Maybe. It really is. This is one of the pictures that kind of confuses me or baffles me because I'm like you say, it's like they've taken it for a reason. But what is that reason?
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
You
but
can tell.
something this is here has just caught my eye. I don't know whether it's anything or nothing, but like the end of this piece of wood looks like it's split.
But there's a nail coming through.
Yeah,
Where the nails are, it's going to be a split.
yeah,
It's hard to tell.
it really is. I will go to the next picture, see if we can work out anything from that one. I'm thinking, has a picture come up?
Yep.
Is this the bullet?
I would assume. I've got bad eyes.
Well, it is buried in all this like insulation fiberglass. You've got a
Yeah.
little piece of wood here, a splinter of wood, whether that's going to bear any relevance in the other pictures, or if it's just from when the house was made and it's split, I don't know. But so it's landed right near a joist and a rafter.
You know that little split of wood
This
that
one,
to the top, just past the wire?
yeah.
It kind of looks like that oblong piece that came out of the ceiling,
Mm,
similar to that long shape.
could be.
I'm I'm not saying it is.
Uh,
It just it's similar.
yeah. So this is looking down onto the, like, they'd be looking down sort of towards their feet on the rafters kind of thing.
Right.
Let's go to the next picture.
Next.
Well, sorry, before we do, you can see this is like buried in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's encased in sort of the fiberglass.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah. Um,
That's exactly what that is.
that's the bottom end, isn't it? Of the,
That's
like where
yeah, the bullet, the lead part.
yeah, where the
Mhm.
striking pin and all the primer stuff would be on this
Yeah.
end. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Look at all it went through. All that insulation,
Mm,
drywall.
yeah. Because like this part round here, it looks almost like it's sort of a centimeter high, and that's like
Mm,
embedded in it.
yeah.
And then, this bit's on the top. So it's landed almost like landed with some force.
Mm-hmm.
So go to the next slide.
Go ahead.
So they want us to take note of this, I'm thinking. This
Mm,
is the hole. That's the,
yep.
is this the plaster of the
Yeah, that'd be
drywall?
the entry point. It basically, yeah, I busted through the ceiling, and all this powder that's to the bottom of the hole on the black, that would be
Yeah.
the dust from the sheetrock.
And is this like black lining? Would that be underneath all of the fiberglass, like on top of
Yeah,
this
like a
wood?
plastic lining.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you could tell where it busted through.
Yeah. Okay. So go to the next one.
Yep, go ahead. Okay. That's the roof, the top, very top part, because you can see all the nails where they've nailed the shingles
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
But what are they showing us here? This white stuff? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, would it be a case of when the bullets come through, has it sort of created like a cloud of dust or something stuck to the
I
wood?
don't know. I
No,
don't know exactly how that would work. I mean,
me
it's not
neither.
really. I don't see anything that's like a hole where it would have hit.
No. I mean, it's obviously bounced off something
Mm-hmm.
because it looks like it's from where it is landed and where the hole is. I don't think they're sort of by each other, are they? I could be wrong. I hope there's a better picture where you can sort of see both the hole and the bullet.
Yeah.
So go
What's
to the
next?
next picture.
Go ahead.
Okay.
There it
So
is.
back to looking at the bullet. That piece of wood that we don't know whether that's from splintering off somewhere. And
It's marked
they
57.
haven't cleared the insulation. So obviously they're taking it whilst it's in its location, but they haven't sort of
Yeah.
cleared it for you to be able to sort of see what shape it is or what the sides of it look like or the tip of it looks like.
I'm just saying this is where we found it, exactly where we found it.
Yeah. Next photo.
Go ahead.
Close up. I mean, it's truly like embedded and it's kind of in a little kind of nook, isn't it? You know, right in a little corner.
So it went through flesh, bone, tissue, then sheetrock, insulation, hit the ceiling, and back into the insulation.
Yeah.
That's quite a trip. I mean, it's been through quite a bit of things.
Yeah. Definitely
So
when you think of it like that.
I'm thinking they were very lucky to find anything on that bullet.
I'd have to agree with you because, like you say, when you think of it, it's
Right.
gone through skull tissue, brain matter, skull tissue, hair, sheetrock, lining, insulation, hit the deck at the top, bounced down, landed in the, and then been discovered a month later, not in like clinical settings of, you know, like optimum care to look after it and preserve it. So the, like you say, the fact that it's still got some kind of, you know, material that's got DNA on it to be able to get a profile from is pretty lucky.
Yep. Yep. They had to really do some testing and do some work to find that.
Shall I go to the next slide?
Go ahead.
What have we got, Joe?
57. It's just a long shot of it. I'm assuming that that's the, you can tell this is in the same spot. So it came through, went straight up, hit the ceiling, and come right back down to where the 57 marker is. So this shot,
would you say is between that where it's
I would say that's a foot and a half between the entrance and the landing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's, they're showing you both where it entered and where it ended up in the same pic.
So it must have like ricocheted sort of off one of those beams.
Yeah,
like the beam stopped it.
Yeah.
And then it's bounced back to where it is with 57 as the marker.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
you can go ahead.
it would be
and go
quite
to the
good
next
to
one.
do a side by side with this picture and one of when they first go in there. Then you just see insulation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, going to the next picture. And it's pretty much the same.
So yep, that's almost exactly the same.
Yeah. I'm just thinking how far they would have had to have like gone to try and get to the living room from the bedroom.
Yeah.
That would be quite a challenge as well, wouldn't it, really? So it's sort of like the other end of the house. I mean, it's bang in the middle, isn't it? Whether they'd have gone to the access point that's in the garage or the one that's in the bedroom, it's pretty much same distance
Yeah.
either way. Okay, next picture.
It's the ceiling again. Where's it? What's it showing us here? I'm not sure.
I'm not either. Maybe it is to do with where that knot.
I think they're trying to show us where it hit the ceiling, but I'm not sure if that's a knot hole or if that's a bullet hole.
Could it maybe be this dent here where it's like hit it and bounced off?
I just
Or
don't know.
is it hit somewhere around here and then like there's a split? It's really difficult to tell, isn't it? We might
We'll
have
see
to,
that hole at the left,
yeah,
about right above the beam. I can't tell if it's a knot hole or if that's where the bullet maybe impacted and made a indentation.
yeah. Let me see if I can zoom in and see if we can see anything that can identify. Could that bit of wood that we saw, could that have been off here maybe?
Possibly. That now that you've zoomed in, it kind of looks like a hole instead of a knot to me, but I mean it's hard to say. I'm just not,
Yeah.
I just don't have a lot of experience with that.
Or is this something here? Like a,
I don't think so. That's just like discoloration in the wood.
and then you've got like, also there's this bit here, but then that could be another one of these. It's so hard
Yeah.
to tell. Note to roof manufacturers, use smooth wood. Next one. What have we
And
got?
again,
You
it's
see,
pretty much the same. I
yeah,
wonder if they're taking pictures of the top because they're not sure which
yeah,
hole it is either, and they're trying to
could
figure it
be.
out.
Yeah, could be. Because it's like you've got a piece of insulation there,
Hmm.
which unless it's like a spider's nest, a cocoon of
Because
eggs.
there's so many holes in that, it's hard to
Yeah,
see what's what.
I agree. I mean, you've got like a split of wood here. Then you've
But
got
there's also a nail
that
coming through that.
knot there. Yeah, you've got like a thing there, but then you've got nails either side, sort of on there. And then
Yeah.
you've got that one. But then if there was I was going to say if there was a nail coming through, but there's no nail coming through there. But maybe if there was a piece of wood that was along there and the bullet hit it, maybe it would be enough to break it off. And I don't know, like we've said, we don't claim to be experts. And I'm really, really sorry to break it to you, Joe, but I just don't happen to have a roofer friend here at my side who just happened to look at this picture to tell me. So I'm really sorry about
I
that.
know.
On to the next picture. And then that must be all of them for in the attic. But yeah, so there's no picture of that bullet once it's been retrieved. So when it said that there's no hair or anything else or blood or tissue or skin, or how do we know? You can't see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are the only pictures that have ever been released.
Mm-hmm. And all it shows really is it went through several things and landed in the attic.
Yeah, and they were able to obtain David's DNA off it after 2 months after the shooting occurred, and months after the
Exactly.
bodies were discovered. Not kept in like
So not a
clinical.
lot of information there, but you know, the simple term is like Occam's razor. I
Yeah,
mean, the simplest solution is, you know, the one that's right. And it's obvious that the trajectory matches up with his left parietal, went through the ceiling. They found his DNA on 57. So, I mean, if you put it all together, what do you have?
exactly. You have a bullet that's killed someone with that person who it's killed's DNA on it.
Exactly. Because if you trace it from where he was to the ceiling, through the ceiling to where it landed, I mean, it's all very obvious to me, I guess. I
Yeah,
just don't understand why so many people have trouble with it. It's
no,
very simple.
I know, and then trying to insinuate that other people got a gun out of the police department's evidence rooms that are all like securely locked and under 24-hour video surveillance, sealed boxes and bags and zip ties and Lord knows what else. Take
With nitrogen.
yeah, grab a bottle of that as well. Take all these things back out, sneak into a house that is known to have had 3 people die in it, to go and put a bullet hole in that wasn't in there, that nobody knew about. It would be pointless.
Exactly. And I believe it was Klein who they implicated. He would have had to get the gun from Apple Valley evidence without them knowing, take it back to the Crowley house, 1051 Ramsdale, shoot it through the ceiling, call the police, say there's a bullet, and put the gun back into evidence. It just makes zero sense. It's just not possible in reality.
No. And also, when the police had contacted him, it clearly says that Klein was talking to, I can't remember which detective it was now, but he was talking to them and he was telling that officer what he thought had happened and how it had unfolded. And he said, he mentioned bullet holes in the floor and bullet hole in the ceiling. He didn't say, oh, by the way, I need you to know that there's a bullet hole in the ceiling and you haven't seen it. He didn't know that they hadn't seen it. No one knew that they hadn't seen it. He'd assumed that they had seen it and assumed that they knew what he was talking about regarding these bullet holes. And that's when they
That's a great point.
Bullet hole? What bullet hole in the ceiling? And that's how it came about.
That's a great point.